Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold, this is Psycho Gold Videos. Today I'm going to be checking out Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 Episode 3. I honestly don't know what to expect from this season. We've had two very different episodes, so I'm very curious to see just where the storyline is going to go. I assume that this is going to start kind of like the overarching storyline for this season, since the first two episodes kind of haven't really felt joined together, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think we've had two episodes to kind of show us where Mob is, show us where the characters are, so I think this might be the start of whatever the big storyline is going to be, but I don't know, we'll have to watch it and find out, which is exactly what I intend to do, so let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. One danger after another degeneration. Degeneration X! No, that's probably not what they mean. Why would a psychic be able to curse people? But yeah, the distance you traveled is irrelevant, man. I was gonna say, Mob doesn't really need to worry about such things. Like, he can pretty much, you know, wipe somebody out if he really wanted to. But I love the fact he's putting in so much thought. He's actually putting himself out there, which is nice. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I did say that in the first episode, that, you know, he's made a conscious decision to try and be more like himself, you know? No, I don't think it is. Otherwise, Mob and Dimple would be aware of it, wouldn't they? Okay. Oh, it's a person using his psychic abilities. I was gonna say, oh, yeah, when it comes to physical matters, say no to violence? What? I was gonna say, what are you going on about? But man, that's such a creepy thought. Oh, they actually did arrest him. Oh, okay. I was really confused for a minute then. I was like, this seems to be them, like, are they planning something against Reagan? Well, it's definitely an abandoned house, so it's got that creepy factor going for it, but it doesn't mean that there's actually a spirit occupying the place. What are they? I feel like they're setting them up somehow. Wait. What? What the heck? What just... What is going on? It's Dimple! Oh, Dimple! Is it Dimple? Oh, Ritsu! I was gonna say, Sugimoto is not having a good day. Oh, I love these guys. Really? Really? Have you seen the size of them? Dude. I was gonna say, you'll be squashed before you can even try and punch him. I love the way they all just come up behind him and, you know, their sheer amount of muscles was ridiculous. It's like, they're just so intimidating when they want to be. It's interesting, because I do kind of agree with Dimple, but at the same time, I think Mob knew that that spirit was there. What? Well, this is different. I'm very curious as to what's gonna happen. But they're not evil spirits. Or at least, they're saying that they're not evil spirits. Which, unfortunately, is enough for Mob. Uh-oh. Dimple is moved forward. I've got a funny feeling that Dimple is about to solve this problem for you. Oh, Dimple, you manipulative. Oh. Dude, that's not very nice. Oh, no. He couldn't do it. Nope. I got nothing, guys. I don't know what to say, dudes. I was not expecting this from the episode. Like, I was really not expecting a moral dilemma. Wait, why? He used his special move. Oh! Oh, wow. Okay, so Reagan took responsibility, but I'm still a bit confused as to what exactly Reagan was talking about. Oh, okay. No faces looks a bit weird. Yeah, exactly. Dimple literally tried to push him into being an evil spirit. Yeah, I suppose he sees the world entirely different. Oh, okay. I see. So that's what he was worrying about. He's worrying about becoming a bad guy like the Claws. That's why he won't fight up against bullies. I mean, we did kind of get that from the first season too, but it's okay to defend yourself. Like, Mob is capable of doing that without going too far, you know? There you go, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mob Psycho 100 Season 2, Episode 3. Apologies if I sound like I'm struggling a little bit to talk, because I am. I've both got a cut on my tongue, and I've got a cut on my gum on my inner jaw, and they're both making it extremely difficult to talk without being in pain. So, this episode kind of took me by surprise in that it became a very, moral-focused episode. It was also, to be honest, a little bit emotional, and like I say, I was not prepared for that, man. We did have moments like this in the first season, and they were some of my favorite, because ultimately it's one of the things that I felt pushed Mob Psycho, for me, to be a better show than One Punch Man, was the story and the characters, you know. Mob is a much more compelling and interesting character than Saitama. Not that I, you know, don't love Saitama and all of the characters from One Punch Man, and I can't wait for that to make its glorious return, but after watching the first season of Mob Psycho 100, I could see why so many people had asked me to watch that as well. As, you know, it's just as hype when it wants to be, it's just as insane when it comes to the action when it wants to be, but there is a heart and a soul in Mob that isn't in many anime characters. Like, he is a real character, and I actually get real emotions when he is experiencing them himself. He is a kid going through the changes that happens to all kids. And on top of all of that, if he gets too emotional, he is very likely to properly hurt someone, and you know, this episode kind of accentuates that point, in as much as, you know, he is very much wrestling with the idea of it is all too easy for him to become a bad guy. I almost feel like a touch of the Batman there. It's like, you know, it's too damn easy for Batman and Mob, to keep the analogy going, to both end up going down the slippery slope. That's why, you know, Batman won't kill anyone. Not because it's the wrong thing to do, but because if he starts, he's openly said himself, he won't stop. I think that's what Mob is afraid of, is that, yeah, today he fights back against a couple of bullies. Tomorrow, maybe, you know, the bullies come back with friends, so they haven't learnt their lesson. So this time we'll do a little bit more to them, and cut to 5 years later, and some guy walks past him and brushes into his shoulder, so he snaps his neck and doesn't really see how that's any different from teaching the bullies a lesson. And I think that's what Mob is both afraid of and actively fighting, because we also know that there is something else inside of Mob, because I don't know exactly how Mob's psychic powers work, but we do know for a fact that Mob can explode and can get very emotional and in turn get very powerful. However, when Mob is unconscious, which is the important part here, Mob's not conscious. Something else can come out and play occasionally, and when it does, Mob's powers go through the roof when it comes to what he's able to pull off with his psychic abilities. We have seen that happen in the first season, and I was kind of expecting that to be the finale, when this other thing would come out and just, you know, Thanos finger snap the rest of the claws and that redheaded kid. And that might still be on the cards in the future, because I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of the agency that Mob and his friends went up against in the last season. For starters, they're in the opening credits, so I'm sure they're coming back at some point. And I wonder if we're gonna get to see Mob and that prodigy kid who, you know, was basically saying that him and, you know, he thinks he's more powerful than Mob. Maybe he is, but I don't think he's more powerful than whatever it is that Mob has inside of him. Now, it could be, like I said, a manifestation of Mob's inner psyche, all of the things he's repressed, and that's like they've taken on a personality, or at least they've taken on a consciousness, even if they don't really have a character of themselves, and that's Mob's raw emotions fighting back because he, you know, refuses to let them out. Because weird things happen when you repress is the highlight of most characters that have psychic powers. This episode in particular has just sparked so many thoughts about how Mob sees the world, how Mob deals with everything that he's done. You know, he can wipe out evil spirits, but is that any different to wiping out evil people who are still alive? You know, how does he balance those scales? He can't be judge, jury, and executioner, and he's too afraid that one day he won't see how they're any different. You know, if he takes these spirits out who are good, why would he not take out these people? And it's interesting that Reagan was able to work out what was going on, and he took that burden on himself, and he was like, this is my fault because we've been doing too much and I've got careless and I'm just taking any job that pays bills because he's greedy at the end of the day. And I kind of like that. Like, whatever else happens in the show, Reagan does have genuine feelings for Mob, and I do think that Reagan has kind of got this, I almost want to say parental relationship with him, but that's not true because obviously Mob does have parents. But I do think that Reagan feels responsible for him, and I do think they have this, you know, this teacher-student dynamic, and I think it does go further than that. But it's not like Reagan is his father figure, because he does have a father, but obviously Reagan's able to talk to him about things that his parents, and any parent really, doesn't really have any expertise in. Like, obviously Reagan isn't actually a real psychic, but by luck more than anything, he does seem to have a very strong ethnic outlook on how things should be, and because of that, he's actually perfect for Mob to kind of attach himself to and learn from, ultimately. So yeah, that just makes me think of all the stuff that happened in the first season, and makes me wonder just where the story is gonna go, and how weird and wonderful Mob's powers and whatever else is gonna be thrown at him are gonna get, because this show can go anywhere, man. Nothing is off limit in the world of Mob Psycho. It is so unpredictable, and that's why I fell in love with it in the first place. And it makes you laugh, it surprises you with moments like this where it just makes you like, oh. It can give you all of the range of emotions, and it still delivers with hype action when that music hits and the animation style gets really colorful, man. Oh, you just know that you're in for a good time. This episode, I don't know, man. I loved seeing Dimple work with them. I really did enjoy that, but that moral moment was just so unexpected for me, and it just hit me, man. Like, I can't get my mind off of it. I can't talk about the other parts of the episode. You know what? I'm not even gonna try, because it's difficult enough to talk a lot as it is. So I absolutely loved this episode. I hope you guys did as well. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode, and even though these videos aren't getting the response I thought they would get, I personally love Mob Psycho 100. So feel free to leave comments down below letting me know what you thought of this episode. Thumbs up, obviously, if you enjoyed the reaction. If you're new around here, please consider clicking that subscribe button so that you know when I post new stuff. I don't know if there's a problem with YouTube subscribers at the minute, because some people have told me, like, recently, like just before I started watching this episode, that they were subscribed to me, but they went to my channel earlier and found that they're actually not, which would explain why I've lost a load of subscribers. Like, I've gained a load more, but I have noticed that I seem to lose a number of subscribers in a very short space of time, and a few of them have reached out and are like, I didn't unsubscribe from you, and they've now resubscribed. So if you are checking the channel thinking that maybe you haven't seen a video from me for some time, you might want to check whether or not you're still subscribed, and you might want to just go through my videos and see how long it's been, because I have been posting. Not been daily or anything, but there's definitely been videos being posted, so I'm gonna leave that with you guys, but that's gonna be it from me. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, guys, my name is Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.